Yeah.
We got to talk about Jimmy Butler. And I say we do it right now. Can Jokic be less excited? And does it make him more or less likable? Or is it kind of funny? Like, how do you
I think it's kind of funny. Like, you remember the Kawhi laugh that we all love because he's so awkward? Why was that so funny? Because he's so awkward, right?
Well, remember what they said, though. I mean, they backed him up. His teammates said, hey, Kawhi's the life of the party. And we're like, really? You know, sometimes people aren't good in front of the camera. Sometimes people are very private. We don't know what they're like behind closed doors or in the locker room. We just don't know. And Jokic may be one of those guys who has a sense of humility. He's humble. He's not made for the spotlight. He's there to play. He's all business. Maybe, for all we know, we saw him, playing slap ass with Jamal Murray. They jumped into the pool.
Jumping in a pool together. That was fun. That was nice.
So, like, maybe he is more personable than we know, and he's just a private, low-key, foreign kind of guy. I don't know.
I very much like to go home now. Even during the post-game interview, was it Lisa Salters?
Yes.
Who, by the way, the unnecessary questions, and she's terrific at what she does, but it was like, in the second quarter, you guys are struggling. Who cares? They just won a championship.
Yeah.
What's with the filler questions?
And then Stan Kroenke talking into her ear, like the microphone was in her headset in her ear.
So after the game,
it was very kind of
after the game, I thought it was funny how his first reaction was like, yes, we go home now. His answer was, we go home now. That was number one. And then, Ramos, can you play the clip of Jokic when they tell him that the parade is on Thursday?
You said after the Lakers win, you said you were surprised that you didn't feel more. So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Okay.
That huff at the end is the huff where you just laid down on the couch and you're chilling and your wife goes, we're going to Home Goods, right? And you're like, oh.
That's like a Charlie huff.
That's a.
I want the Juliana huff.
You're thinking, that is a Charlie huff and you want Juliana. Right huff you chose. But that's the huff you give when you're thinking about, like, let's say pizza all day. And you're like, oh, pizza, we're cheating tonight, pizza party. And then, I don't know, your wife or friend's like, instead of pizza, I think we're going to go with Chinese food instead. And you're like, oh, I'm thinking about pizza. That is not the huff. That's the huff of a aggravated man, not one that has a championship parade in 3 days. 2 days.
Exactly. I think see, here's the thing. We're all laughing. But I think he's serious.
He's very serious.
Right? That's the thing. It's like, we're making it funny. He's not making it funny. He's just being honest. And like, that's funny, right? I think. But I don't think he cares at all. I think he's there for business.
This is all business.
He's there to
I
win.
go home now.
He's a very disciplined guy. He came, he saw, he did his job, and now I'm going home. We won. He doesn't need all the fanfare and the hoopla and the parades. Quite frankly, parades are kind of lame. But championship parades are different. And he should embrace it, and I'm sure he will. But I do think that it's us making it funny because we don't know how to react to his honest sort of demeanor.
I don't care about parade. I go home. Serbia wins.
Hey.
This guy, man, what a riot. I mean, he said,
this is a riot.
Nothing funny, man. He's just an all-business type of guy. And we have a theory here on the COVINO Rich Show on Fox Sports Radio.
Hold your theory for a second, because it's like my grandma, rest in peace. A wonderful Mexican woman, but she had no filter. She's from a different place in a different time in a different era. If you had company there, she literally one time busted out a can of Right Guard, and she told one of our family friends, like, you stink, you need this. You know what I mean?
Socio, you smell it.
We're like, wow, that's kind of bold, Tita. But we're like, get it? And we're laughing out of nervousness, but she's straight up serious and blunt and honest about it. That's sort of what we get with Jokic. It might be that lack of filter that he has because he's from a different place, from a different background. He's like, I give honest perspective.
People have different, we forget that, while we're all very similar, culturally, a lot of people are different. My dad's wife is from Belarus. That Russian European vibe of like very Drago, like in Rocky IV. I must break you.
How cold that big lunchroom looked that they kept showing back home in Serbia watching
we're
the
going
game.
back to the footage of Serbia. It's a bunch of big, monstrous goons watching. Like, oh, this is good footage.
Did you hear with every time he shoots, he scores.
I'm sure Serbia is very beautiful, but that's what he's in a rush to go back to.
Hey, Rich has great perspective. Rich is Russian and his stepmom is from Belarus.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows exactly what I'm
it's
talking
like
about.
it's that cold demeanor that it really is. Like I told you,
it's an honest demeanor. It's like we live in a culture where everyone beats around the bush, especially athletes. You never get an honest answer. You know, they give the most boring answers. So this guy's giving a boring but honest answer, and we're like, what?
Oh, parade on Thursday? Ugh. I want to go home.
Parades make me vomit.
I don't like silly parades. Maybe Ramos had a theory off the air. Ramos, were you saying you think he just hates Americans?
He doesn't like America.
He might not, though.
You know what? I mean,
he might like Denver, right? Like he's like, everyone embraces him here. I like it here. It's his home away from home. But America's not home to the guy. He probably thinks like a lot of the things we're into are silly. You
care about Vanderpump drama. I play in championship.
Yeah, exactly. You know what, Danny G, you painted the perfect picture. Look at the family and friends back home. It's nothing like the nonsense that's around here.
Yo,
so he's a different guy.
Give a little insight of, like I said, that European vibe.
They don't mess around, dude. It's a different level of discipline too. Different person. Think of all these foreign players. The European players.
The
they're all
fake filter.
different.
The fake filter we put on things.
Exactly.
So we're at my brother's wedding, right? You know, the night before you do the rehearsal dinner. Not trying to sound rude, but let's just say it was not the most exciting dinner. My brother had dinner with her family and our family it was like there was like two long tables, like it was so awkwardly even set up. No music playing.
Oh, I knew it.
No music, and all you hear is the sounds of forks and knives, and no one's real. I'm trying my best to start conversation like, so, I'm Jim's brother, and
if you could hear the clinks and the clanks of the dishes and the cutting of the meat, the rumbling of Uncle Fred's belly, it's not a fun time.
My stepmother, my dad's wife, Nellie. My dad's name is Greg. I wouldn't even call it a party. It was a dinner, but
it's a gathering.
She goes, Greg, this is boring. Let's go. Let's go. It's your son's rehearsal dinner. We're not going anywhere. We're stuck in this boring scene.
Let's go home now.
Time to go back to a hotel. Much better scene. What?
And that's kind of Jokic.
So
like,
Jokic is
time to go.
So I'll throw it out here this way also. We have so many fun thoughts here on CNR.
No need for celebration.
I feel like no one is talking about this. Everyone's talking about, he's just a boring guy.
Hey,
in
man,
your family,
the dude won, and he's a big-time winner, period. He's not the life of the party. However, he has his brothers there to make up for that. We'll explain our theory on that.
You fit in a dynamic in your family. That goes for everyone, right? Everyone, you fit in a certain niche in your own little family with your siblings. And did you see his brothers? I want to give a shout out to
who? Luke and Butch?
No.
What are their names?
No.
Boris and Nikolai?
Strahinga.
Oh.
And
I was close.
Nemanja and Strahinga are these
guys
other
are great.
Jokic brothers. So while the Jokic we know is all composed and all business, his beautiful wife and his baby, everyone's cheering. The sister-in-laws and the brothers are party animals. Yes, we like to party. Meanwhile, all we know growing up, Nikola was the quiet one.
Right, and it makes sense. And actually, it's something I could really relate to. If you talk to any of my relatives, my cousin Anthony recently said, man, I love your show. I love your Fox Sports radio show. It's so cool that you're part of the premier sports lineup in the nation.
There you go, reading that off the wall again.
It says it right there. And it makes my family proud, but my cousin's like, I don't get it, though. You're like the fifth funniest in the family. He's like, you never really even talked growing up. And I'm like, yeah, because all you loudmouths never gave me a chance. Between my mom, who never shuts up, my Uncle Joe, who never shuts up. You know, these are mic hogs. I was surrounded by mic hogs. And I'm like, you know what? If you guys want the conch so bad and you guys want to tell funny stories, I'll sit back and enjoy.
Yeah.
I'll have my own time and my own fun in my own company with my own friends. But I never had a moment to be that guy.
So maybe in the Jokic family,
he's that dude.
There's a lot of party animals, and he's just not that guy.
That's the role he fell into.
And you saw Strahinja and
Strahinja.
Nemanja, the Jokic monster brothers. Did you see them doing
Breathe,
some?
my friend.
This is something you would do at a big party or a wedding, probably in Serbia. They're throwing Coach Michael Malone up in the air. And if you don't think I didn't notice, they were like grabbing his
There
junk,
was some
unfortunately.
shaping going on.
Yeah, like every time they caught him and threw it back up, I'm like, I think they're holding him by his package.
I told my family, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's physical abuse right there.
Michael Malone's like, if this is under any other
This is
circumstance,
how we celebrate in Serbia.
we grab your junk.
Yeah, junk grabs are okay.
So,
be a man.
hey, congrats to the Denver Nuggets, your first ever NBA title. The Nuggets just dominated. I mean, Dan, I saw you point this out the other day, and you made a great point that they dominated, but they did have a pretty awesome path to the NBA Finals. Very rarely does a team get to play 3 play-in teams along the way.
Yeah, it's just a
It's not
fact.
to take away, but
Yes, exactly. And you would think that Nuggets fans, like, this is the worst news ever, but facts are facts. I'd also say if at the beginning of the year or beginning of the playoffs, you got to pick which teams you would play. Timberwolves, we'll take the Heat, and how about the Lakers?
Yeah.
And yeah, let's set this up. All right, yeah, we're ready to go.
But that's when you see this is our window to win, and they capitalized and they dominated every step of the way. So congrats to Denver,
Yes.
their fan base, your first ever title.
And you know what?
To the Jokic family who's still celebrating.
Oh, they're pumped. And they're pumped enough for Nikola. It doesn't matter. I think you ask any Denver fan, they don't care if he's the life of the party. As long as this big goon is scoring the way he scores and plays the way he plays, I think that's all they need.
Yeah,
man.
and honestly, I don't want to keep adding to the narrative that he's boring or something.
it's
He's
humorous,
it's just his
though.
it's just his personality.
It's funny.
And I think it is sort of funny that he's aggravated by a parade. I think it's funny that after the game he didn't even smile. He just said, now I get to go home. And then in the locker room, did you guys see the footage floating around where he really didn't even want to spray champagne? The caption was, Jokic doesn't know what to do with the champagne. Did you see
I
that?
saw that.
He's just holding the bottle. He's like, I guess I shake a little.
Well, some people
Very
too, Rich.
confused.
Like, all right, I don't know if I could have this make sense, but I'm going to do my best.
Give it a shot.
Some people don't like to act the fool or let loose, and I'm one of those guys. You know, I like to have fun. I like to laugh. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty much all business.
You're a bit of-
You'll never
you're a
see me
stick in the
acting
mud.
like a clown.
Honestly, I've
right?
known Covino. We've been buds for 20 years. I could count on one hand how many times I've seen him drunk or high.
Yeah,
where
'cause
it's
I'm
like,
not a
where
bozo.
Covino's always the type of guy where he's like, all right, I'm starting to feel a little buzz. I had a couple cocktails at the party. I'm pulling back. I don't want you to see me being a fool.
Well, it's like Marvin Hagler said in those old right guard commercials. Never let him see you sweat. Never let him see you acting like a bozo. It's just kind of how I always have been. And, you know, as
Yeah,
part
I'm
of
the
that,
opposite. If you know me, there's a likely
well,
chance
that's
you've
because
seen
you
me.
come from a long line of bozos.
That's true. If you know me, there's a very good chance you've seen me in every state.
But there's also I say humbleness. And my mother says, you big idiot, it's humility.
She's
There's
right.
a humility about me, even though you think I'm the most arrogant guy. You know?
Humbleness.
There's a humility where I don't like a big celebration about me. It makes me feel awkward. I'm not saying I don't like attention. We're here on national radio airwaves.
Yeah. You like attention on your terms.
On my terms. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, and that's part of the reason why, if and when I do remarry, I don't want like a big wedding. I'm just not that type of guy.
Danny, I said this
I
to
don't like
Covino.
that attention. I don't like those eyes on me. I don't like people making a spectacle of me. It makes me feel
Ah,
awkward. Like,
stop
hey, chill out. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe Nikola is like, let's not make big hoopla. Right? One game, big deal. Let's go.
But
you know,
his brothers
yeah,
brought
let them
the fun.
celebrate. Yeah, that's great because he made the family proud. But there's a part of me that's like, yeah, I don't need all that big party, man. It makes me feel weird. It does. I don't like it.
Two things about Covino that, just to paint a picture, is as we all get to know each other here on Fox Sports Radio, when I told the guys, hey, I'm getting married, you know what the first thing Covino said to me was? It wasn't, hey, congrats. It was like, oh, man, that's awesome. It was, yo, bro, I don't want to be your best man. I'm not doing some corny speech. First thing he said. I'm like,
I don't like all that attention.
All right,
man.
cool.
I don't like that pressure. It makes me
Okay.
awkward.
Fair.
I never want a mother-son like dance.
That was the second thing I said.
That makes me want to barf.
His first marriage, he got married in Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow, it didn't work. Surprising.
Yeah, but you
So-
know what? I was okay with it because I never wanted that spectacle.
So, Ramos, I said to Covino, I go, if you get married again, if you marry your beautiful girlfriend, and let's say she wants a bigger wedding, I was like, your mother, who's the most loving, smothering mom, you wouldn't do a mother-son dance with her? And he goes, no.
No, I don't want it.
Your dream was not Leon Womack. I hope you dance.
That's
Remember
not
Love Is Blind?
Love Is Blind? That's my song, too.
Oh my God, it's my favorite song. No, I want none of that awkwardness in my life. I'm allergic to that awkwardness.
Danny, you had a small
And that
wedding. You had a
attention.
small wedding.
Yes, and I wouldn't have it any other way. In that regard, I'm the same as Covino. I do not like people staring at me. I feel weird. It's the same as when you feel like people are staring at you when you're trying to eat.
I want to be brought out on a chariot. I want.
Yeah, and I'm saying maybe Nikola is that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, again, he always took the backseat to his crazy barbarian brothers, right? And he's like, yeah, I play game, big deal. I win, and that's it. Like, and I'm sure he's proud, but he doesn't need all that, and it makes him probably feel a little weird because he's not that type of guy. It's as simple as his personality and his cultural upbringing.
However, I do think he has to change a little bit with that idea. It may be good this first time, but if they come back and win again, I'm sure there'll be voices in his head, or voices from the team as we move along saying, hey, you need to show a little bit more enthusiasm. You don't have to be out of control and like Tom Brady throwing the Vince Lombardi trophy across the lake.
But
you don't have to do that.
I agree.
But I think they will tell him to be a little bit more excited by it.
New season, another championship, I suppose.
I suppose so.
And by the way, don't talk dynasties. You don't want to get Doug Gottlieb mad. I saw his clip on Fox Sports Radio.
Hold on, don't even tell me what he said, though. But this very much feels like if they get another star player who's willing to go there now that they have
another star, they can do it this way.
They can, but I'm saying you don't think people are more likely to be like, yeah, I'll play in Denver. They have a winning organization.
Doug said any
This
dumb
could be the start of a Golden State Warriors sort of vibe.
Doug Gottlieb said any dumb person in the media is going to start talking about dynasties.
I'm not going to talk about it, but you could see it.
Jokic, you just won the championship. Where are you going? Hey, go to sleep number.
Sleep
home.
number. My sleep number is 65.
Where do you go? I incline the feet because I'm a big man.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
my
hey,
God. It's so
hopefully
funny.
you enjoyed. You know what? I turned on the fourth quarter when it was tied. It was tied. It was a good game, and I said to my wife, it was right around bedtime for the kids. So I even told my kids, I'm like, hey, you want Dad to turn on the TV and I'll show you something. Someone's about to win the trophy. And they're both like, no, we want to watch Bluey. I was like, all right, I'm going to the other room. So I watched by myself, and as I'm watching, I'm like, look at the crowd. The crowd is so pumped up. And you're right, the face of dominance was like, we win. It's good.
Hey, man, that's the composure you might need in that situation if you want to create a dynasty.